Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1331. I'm Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Today we have the wonderful John Deere, the engineer, Floyd the Floorman, Chely Shoehart, and the news segment called the MIKE Matthewsmen Park. We'll look at some interesting, amusing things going on today in the world.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I hope I sold today's show well, because I was talking to someone yesterday and they were asking me, Mike, what are you going to do on tomorrow's show?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And that is my impression of my friend named Nick. And he's about as skinny as a stick. No, not that skinny. He and his fiance and I walked our dogs, Basil the boxer, and there was a frog. There are a lot of frogs in Castro Valley right now that are chirping away.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
They're riveting. That's what they are. They're just riveting. It's a riveting topic, isn't it?
Mike's
Daily. I want to tell you,
Podcast.
I'm contemplating doing a money show. How would I sound doing a money show? Let's see. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mike's Money. Let's take a look at the stocks. They went down because Trump said he wants to start nuclear war part 3. World War 3. And he's saying North Korea, big confrontation. Oh, look who just walked in. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, the gift shop supervisor. Who wants to listen to a show about money? Well, people that are into money, I guess, would be. Mike Matthews, my friend is named Bob. Wait, he's not your boyfriend anymore? We broke up. Oh my gosh, where's that sound effect with the music, with the drama, with the... No, we don't have it yet. Look who else walked in. Oh my God. Floyd the Floorman! And this is John Deere, the engineer. What was that for? You walked in on something. Oh, sorry. I thought I was walking into a money... What was that? You walked into a money show. It's a money show. Yeah, money show would be great with characters walking in, wouldn't it? I think this is riveting. So, yeah, Nick says, whenever Nick talks to me, and we're walking our dogs, he's got two dogs, Belle and Dixie. They're like Samoyeds and Husky mixes. And he'll go, so Mike!
And here's today's podcast picture.
Really loud like that. And yesterday, I actually did it back to him, and he laughed. And then he did it back to me, and I laughed harder. Because it was great. Because it's a thing he does. And I love the things he does moments, don't you? Things he or she does. You're like, they do that all the time, don't they? But the podcast picture today is of Basil the boxer. Actually, this wasn't taken yesterday, but this is the general area where we were walking, Fairmont Ridge. Yes, I love to show a lot of podcast pictures from there, but this was a beautiful day, even though it was a little bit cloudy, and there's the bay in the background in San Leandro, and Basil's floppy ears. And I think we need to look at dogs' floppy ears in a world where things are crazy and presidents are trying to be all, hey! And here's the thing. Okay, I commend him on wanting to defend the United States and doing the ODE. He bust all the senators from the Capitol to the White House. And the whole point was to say, because he labeled it, he said, I'm taking the senators from Capitol Hill, bringing them over to the White House, and to tell them what's going on with North Korea. So North Korea will see that we're all united, and we're all united against them. What happens? Democrats and Republicans came out of the meeting going, yeah, so we got a briefing. That was basically information I could have gotten from the newspaper. They were like undermining what he was saying. So then, of course, the Trump supporters are like, ooh, why do they do that? They're just tying Trump's hands behind his back. He can't get anything done because of them. And, you know, he inherited a mess.
I inherited a mess.
So let him do what he needs to do. is what they say. And then they went on to say,
standing out here yelling rabble, rabble, rabble isn't going to help anything.
a quick shout out to a friend of mine who passed away a few years ago. Yes, this is a spiritual shout out, and I miss him. And he taught me a lot about the way this show sounds is partly inspired by him. Although we never discussed that, sadly, but he did a great talk show on a local station. He only did it a couple of times, and then he did a podcast called Pod Zeppelin. Look it up, Pod Zeppelin. He is still alive in the internet, and he was a very clever guy named Matt Cooper. We lost him way too soon. Such a young man, and I miss him. He was just a great guy. And I was thinking about him last night because I was thinking about if I did a AM talk show, AM radio talk show, I think I would follow a lot of what Matt was doing, because he used a lot of the quirky sound effects that appeared out of nowhere, that kind of thing. That guy's cuckoo. Well, he would always do it with a sense of there was a hipness to him that was just unparalleled. Oh, Matt, he had a hard life. It was like he was sick his entire life, but he kept it. You never knew it. You know, and he fought it all the way, and we thought he would win, but in the end, you know, life is messy. Death is messy. It's all messy, my friend. If you're having a clean day, well, you're just fooling yourself. Love you, Matt. And and he told me a lot. He gave me some tips about podcasting that I didn't know, some things about promoting podcasts, so he lives on in this one for sure. Anyway, my friend Nick, it's so funny to hear him go, so Mike, he always asks me about meet any women? So Mike, meet any women? And my stories about meeting women always start off with, well, I was walking Basel and I met this beautiful woman, and the story goes on from there, which ends basically, we walked and that was it. We walked our dogs and I never heard from her again. And Nick's like, well, you need to get their phone number. And, you know, he's giving me advice. So that was fun walking with him yesterday. I went through all my notes already, Chely. Let's go back to you. You broke up with Bob?
Yeah, Mike Matthews, it wasn't working. We went walking and we stopped.
You stopped walking?
Yeah, and stopped the relationship.
Oh.
It's okay, Mike Matthews. I think I would sound really good on a money show on a radio.
You would. Like, because you could talk about things that you buy, you purchase, and people could say, oh, I'll invest in those companies that Chely buys from because you're young and that's the next generation.
I'm young, Mike Matthews?
Yes, you're young.
Am I beautiful?
Yes. Bob is a sad, sad man.
Is he? Oh, I didn't mean to make him sad. I'm gonna give him a call.
No, be strong, Chely. Don't. Oh, she just left. Maybe she's going to fix it with Bob. Who knows? Whatever. We'll find out maybe 2 shows from now when she comes back. But Bernie Sanders warned that what President Trump is doing is causing nuclear war. I saw it. You know, if I really worked at it, I could probably have a good Bernie Sanders impression. He's just got one of those memorable voices. But I hope Bernie's wrong, but we should listen to Bernie. The harbinger of war. That was not even funny, although it was apropos in some ways. So, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. I wanted to play you. Somebody sent me a phone message. You can call me at 336-MM Daily. That's 336-MM Daily. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna try and do this. First, I gotta make that turn off. Okay, I did that. Now I'm gonna do this. And here we go. Okay, I'm going to play this for you. Let's see what it says. This is from the phone message that I got. Somebody calling 336-MM Daily.
My name is Bob.
Can you understand what that is? Let's listen again, shall we?
My name is Bob. I make some cookies.
My name is Bob. Could that be the Bob that's dating Chely Shoehart? I thought it was this guy that said
Anyway
all the time, but hey, Bob.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, Café Anyway. All right, we're gonna get to the segment called the Mike Matthewsmen Park, and we will also tell you that Mike'sDailyPodcast.com is a great way to help out the show. Click on the Amazon link, buy whatever it is you're gonna buy that helps us out. Through the Amazon link. Amazon shares just exploding. They just are. If you bought Amazon shares back when they were selling books, and you were a bookworm, and you were like, I like this new feature that allows me to buy books, then I want to keep holding on to this Amazon share. You will be a gazillionaire. That's how Amazon is right now, because they get podcasters like me to promote them. But there is also the PayPal. You can help us out that way. PayPal also having a good week this week. They had their earnings going up. Wow, I could do a money podcast. Look at this. Or a money show on the radio. I don't have all my words correct, but whatever. And cafe whatever. Cafe
Anyway.
Anyway, I mean.
Anyway.
And then...
What is the matter with you?
I have no idea.
Something must be wrong with you.
And it's so beautiful, isn't it? So... Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, the past podcast pictures and the past interviews, which I'll be working on that, alphabetizing them. We got A through J right now. I got to get to the K's. I interviewed a lot of people with their names starting with K, like Keith Urban years ago, and a band called Kinetics from Sweden. Yeah, it's awesome. Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Now let's get to the segment that we love to call...
Whoa!
Mike's Matthewsment Park.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all
President
times.
Donald Trump talked to Reuters. I got this story from MSN. He misses driving, feels as if he's in a cocoon, and is surprised how hard his new job is. Yes, yesterday he reflected on his first 100 days in office with a wistful look at his life before the White House. I loved my life. I loved my previous life. I had so many things going. This is more work than in my previous life. I thought it would be easier. Didn't we all know he was going to say that, though? Didn't we all predict that? It was just Trump's got those personalities that you just can see a mile away. And that's why people wanted to vote for him. A wealthy businessman from New York, he assumed public office for the first time when he entered the White House. More than 5 months after his victory and 2 days shy of the 100-day mark of his presidency. So Saturday, tomorrow, will be his 100-day mark. It's still on his mind. Midway through a discussion about Chinese President Xi Jinping, the president paused to hand out copies of what he said were the latest figures from the 2016 electoral map. Oh my God. The vainest president we've ever had, probably. Bordering on Caesar. A2 Caesar? A2 doofus? Trump, I have a t-shirt that says that. Somebody gave me that shirt when I was on country radio. There was this fan I had named Ron, and he would send me stuff. And he had this one sweater, which I still have, that says A2 doofus. And it's such a warm sweater, and I'll walk it when I'm walking Basil the Boxer, and I love it. And when he sent it to me, it reeked of cigarette smoke, so I never met Ron, but I'm pretty sure he was a smoker. So, Trump, who said he was accustomed to not having privacy in his old life, expressed surprise at how little he has now, and he made clear he was still getting used to having 24-hour Secret Service around him. And that he's in a cocoon, and he's usually in a limousine or SUV when he leaves the White House. He says he missed being able to drive. He loves to drive. Is this the interview where he talked about North Korea? Well, he said the president has been at loggerheads with many news organizations, as we all know. He decided not to attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington on Saturday. That is a first. Everybody, all the presidents attend that. Even when they get eviscerated, they show up. Because he felt he had been treated unfairly by the media. Wah, wah. I would come next year, absolutely, he said. Yeah, you better. Don't be a crybaby. Okay, serious stuff here. Israel struck an arms supply hub operated by the Lebanese group Hezbollah near Damascus airport yesterday. Syrian rebel and regional intelligence sources said, targeting weapons sent from Iran via commercial and military cargo planes. Video carried on Lebanese TV and shared on social media showed the pre-dawn airstrikes caused a fire around the airport east of the Syrian capital, suggesting fuel sources or weapons containing explosives were hit. Syrian state media said Israel missiles hit a military position southwest of the airport, but did not mention arms or fuel. It said Israeli aggression had caused explosions and some material loss, but did not expand on the damage. So now Israel is striking Syria. And back to Trump, because it's always about him, back to him. Some of his supporters are thinking he needs to, that Trump has backed himself into a corner, with promises that can't be kept. Others lament he is not pulling America from international conflicts as he vowed, or say he should get off of Twitter. This also according to Reuters. Those grumbles are early warnings for Trump that as he marks his 100th day tomorrow. And they were heard in Reuters interviews with Trump supporters in swing countries that went for Democrat Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012, but then flipped for Trump last year, a slice of the electorate dominated by white voters that is crucial to the Republicans' re-election hopes and that Democrats want to win back. Reuters visited the same four places, and what reporters found this time in more than 24 interviews is that Trump voters are largely standing with their man, but with signs of restlessness, mainly over foreign policy, concerns over getting legislation through Congress, and some skepticism that he won't be able to follow through with promises like that, the whole Obamacare thing. Meanwhile, White House press secretary, let's see what he's doing. Oh yeah, he's blaming Obama again. Good job, Sean Spicer. Hey, a monkey could do your job. A monkey that hates Obama. Because that's all you do is spout anti-Obama stuff. Hey, here's a question for all you Republicans out there. Think about what Trump is doing and then make Trump Obama, and think if Trump did those exact same things that Obama did. Wait, let's flip that around. If Obama did the things that Trump is doing right now, would Trump get impeached? Because you guys would have impeached Obama if he did some of the things. I'm talking about, for example, this whole about his inconsistencies, about his North Korea aggressions. What would you say if Obama did that? You'd be like, what the? Oh, no! He's got too much power! Look at him! What's he trying to do?
I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Obama. Somebody pointed that out to me. A person that does a radio show, but she did not say these words on her radio show, but she was like, imagine if Obama did the things Trump's doing, he would get impeached. And I was like, yes, that's true. Are you going to talk about that on your show? She said, heck no. You know, Sean Spicer blamed Obama for Michael Flynn, saying the ousted national security advisor received his security clearance from the Obama administration. So it's all his fault what happened with Michael Flynn, and the fact that, he did all those things with the Russians. Quote, my only point is when General Flynn came into the White House, he had an active security clearance that was issued during the Obama administration with all the information that's being discussed that occurred in 2015. Oh! So now he's saying Michael Flynn is bad. Before he was defending Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn even shared the stage with Sean Spicer. Remember that? When he was saying, we've put Iran on notice. This was just a few months ago. It happened. Finally, Fox News. We could do this show if this was a liberal talk station. Maybe I could go conservative. No. Swirling tensions at Fox News burst into public view yesterday as one of its stars, Sean Hannity, spoke out in defense of an embattled executive at the center of an expanding culture clash inside the network. Sean Hannity, who I met years and years ago at UCSB when he was just getting started in radio, as I've mentioned many times. He and I talked a couple times back when he was a young, thin person versus the bloated conservative he is now. In an extraordinary series of Twitter posts, he seemed to yoke himself to the fate of the executive Bill Shine, a behind-the-scenes fixer who rose to become the network's co-president after former chairman Roger Ailes was ousted last summer. Somebody high up and inside FNC is trying to get an innocent person fired, he wrote, referring to a report in New York Magazine that Mr. Shine's support for the Murdoch family, which controls Fox News Channel, was wavering. This according to the New York Times. And this is the last story, I promise. United Airlines has already gotten a settlement with, the passenger, Dr. David Dow, who was dragged from the Chicago flight earlier this month. They've already reached a settlement for an undisclosed sum. In their latest step, United's latest step to contain damage from an incident that sparked international outrage. Then they did that thing with that engaged couple, and then they did that thing with that rabbit where they killed it. You know, that was a song by Aerosmith. Dun 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 dun, and the rabbit done died. Dun 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 dun. Sweet emotion. Real quick, I wanted to point out that Robin Hitchcock. Well, I'll talk about that at the very end. Viral videos of Dr. Dow being dragged. Remember that whole thing? Dragged off the plane. And he made this noise.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
And other noises. It prompted calls from congressmen for new industry regulations and led United's board of directors to reverse an agreement to make Munoz company chairman in 2018. United said earlier on Thursday that it would offer passengers who give up their seats up to $10,000, reduce overbooking of flights, and no longer call on law enforcement officials to deny ticketed passengers their seats. Southwest Airlines said they will no longer overbook. Dow, a 69 Vietnamese American doctor, was injured when Chicago Aviation Police, who then got suspended, removed him from his seat and then they got suspended after doing all that. There was a flight from O'Hare International Airport to Louisville, Kentucky. And as we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley, I would love to go to Louisville someday. It'd be very nice, I think. I hear they have some great barbecue. You know, finally, I wanted to mention that Robin Hitchcock is coming out with a new album, and it's very fitting because his good friend Jonathan Demme died. The only movie I ever saw by Jonathan Demme was Rachel Getting Married, and Robin Hitchcock figures prominently in that movie, singing a couple of songs acoustically, just with the cameras rolling and the mics recording. They didn't overdub or nothing, and Robin sounded amazing. And here's a little bit of Robin's new song called Autumn Sunglasses. I had to look that up and see if it was not a John Lennon song. Sounds very John Lennon-esque. Well, there you go. The end of the show. Have a great weekend. Now, if you want some Americana and country and bluegrass, I'll be playing that tomorrow and on Sunday on countrycrossroadsradio.com in the afternoon. So listen to that. There's a link at mikesdailypodcast.com, and I'll be looking for you there. You can call in at 336-MM-DAILY. Maybe leave a message like that weird one we heard earlier. Who knows? Maybe your name is Bob and you want to...
Anyway.
Oh, we're done with the show? Okay. Café Anyway. Thank you for listening to my money talk finances show, getting you to retirement. No, I'm not. Here's how you retire. Here's how you get to retirement. Save a bunch of money and find something you like to do. Because when you're retired, you're going to just be sitting there watching TV all day, getting fat, and then you'll be dead. So find something you like to do. Hey, maybe something you like to do that makes a little money. I know a guy who's retired up the street from me who sells biscotti. He sells biscotti to the local coffee houses. Isn't that awesome? And I tried to get him on my podcast because he's like 70-something and he still goes to see every single new movie that comes out. As you recall, I have not seen a single new movie in a long, long time. And this guy sees every movie that comes out. He goes to see it in the theater. And I try to get him on my show to do like a movie review thing. And he goes, yeah, Mike, that'll be cool. And then he totally ditched me. Whatever. I don't hold it against him. And he still, when I pass by him, because I walk my dog past his house, he's like, oh yeah, you're that guy. Whatever. Enjoy a movie this weekend. Enjoy some music that I play on my radio show, and enjoy the weekend. Bye-bye. Oh, next show, it's going to be Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!